Welcome to Pay-to-Play report for Uncharted Drake's Fortune. It's a PS3 game that came out in 2007 and was published by Sony, and the developer was Naughty Dog. Now, the game was re-released in 2015 for PlayStation 4 and was released as a part of a collection of the first three games in the series. As such, it still remains to be a PlayStation exclusive. There's no plans to release it on PC. What I've seen is the plans that are there to release the games from Uncharted series to PC, as they're only there for the last two games in the series. That's Uncharted 4 and the one that came after it. So the game itself is a mix of a third-person shooter with a 3D platforming elements in it. Now, if I go into the options here, as you can see, there's no video, any type of options that add anything to the game. Even though I'm playing it on PS5, there's no PS5 upgrade to graphics. The game might run better because it's running on a better hardware, but that's all you get. You're not getting any kind of a graphical upgrade to further up. So, let's jump into the game, and then I will show you what else there is to show you about and talk about the game. So I believe that this actually is one of the pretty good section to show you, to explain and demonstrate how the game overall looks like. I'm just gonna save it over here again. Let's go. So the story of the game is about the main character that we're gonna see right now. Well, he's gonna appear here. He's treasure hunting for a treasure that his ancestor, Francis Drake, has left behind somewhere. He has some clues and notes that he got from his ancestor one way or another, and he's using that to find his treasure. Here's actually an example of a section that's going to be a 3D platformer. The game is demonstrating to us exactly what we're going to need to do by showing us exactly what's going to be the type of overall the platforming section. Then the game changes the camera so that it's easier for us to do the platforming. If we were in a shooting section of the game, the camera would be on the third-person view over the shoulder. It's possible to switch which shoulder we have when we do that into shooting. But in the platforming section, the game will be pretty straightforward. It's just gonna kind of be like this. So it's pretty clear what we have and where's what. So let me do this. Now, this section of the game, platforming itself, is not that very difficult. It's pretty straightforward here. There will be much more difficult platforming sections later on. And I'm just gonna jump through here. And what I like about the platforming sections is that if you fail to make a jump or something like that, the game usually just kills off the character. It doesn't matter how far the character falls or so on. The game will just kill off the character and be like, okay, that's it. Try it again. Like usually, because the game auto saves automatically at certain sections, it's much easier than let's say if the game would have been like, oh no, you go back down, since you fell down, you have to go back and climb all over again everything that you climb, because that's usually quite often would be very annoying. Since sections are quite often long. Now this would be the shooting section here, right outside. Like you can look here through over the shoulder. But this is not it. It's actually just quite a short respite between platforming before we have to go out again, and we go here.
Oh, you can't be serious.
Right there, and so just gonna drop down. Now, as you can see, visually the game is good. Like I have no issues with the game. Graphics-wise, it has a very beautiful environment. Right now we're gonna be walking through the Spanish colonial architecture, which is pretty beautiful. Down here, yes, it's it's not in the top shape, but it's still done really well. There are lush jungle environments that we go through. Also, looks good. There's a atmospherically scary underground sections, which is also great. So all that together is beautiful. And again, we have visual clues, especially in the platforming sections, where is what we need to grab onto, move onto, and so on. And in some sections, if you kind of get stumped and be like, oh, I don't know what to do, you try a few things and it just doesn't work out, the game will provide hints. Again, it was pretty useful in some cases, because I was thinking like, well, what do I do from here? And then the game is like, oh wait, by the way, you should not, right there's something there that you need to look at. And it's kind of from that you can guess like, well, maybe I need to jump there, shoot that, or something like that along those lines. So the hints really helped. Alright, so let's get to here, and this is going to be right. I think that's going to be the end of the
you have to bust through that window.
Of the section for the platforming. Right there. And here we are. So one way to tell the fact that this is going to be shooting sections because we are being given weapons to use right there. If we would not been given weapons, that usually means there is no shooting section, although that's not guaranteed. And here we are. Here the shooting section starts, and we're going to do that. And this is a section that I do have problems with, shooting section here, because I do have to aim with the controller. As such, it becomes very annoying. Because quite often it just takes too long for me to aim, to kind of put my bead on the enemy and be so that I can actually shoot the enemy. That fact makes it extremely annoying. Because as I'm playing, quite often I'm just thinking, well, if I had a mouse, it would have been much easier for me to do this. It would be so much easier for me to actually get my beat on point against the enemies, so that I could actually deal damage specifically. Especially when those sections where you do have to be very exact, because just a little bit of enemy sticking out, and so you want to get that little small shot or headshot, right? But it's not exactly possible because, well, you're spending too much time trying to re-aim yourself again. Okay. Okay. Yeah. Actually got killed. I should have run, but I didn't. Well, let's repeat this section. Make sure we don't get killed this time. You see, here's another example. I would have got him on if I had been able to shoot, aim faster. And so that's what usually gets, like I said, get me, because I started the game at the highest level difficulty that the game allows me to select at first, and then I had to go back to lower one, at least one lower, because after a few times I just could not. Where the enemies are? Alright, let's go grab that pistol. And let's wait for the enemy to come by. Should be another one there somewhere. I can't see that other person. Alright. See, there you go. That's what I'm talking about. I'm trying to get that headshot here, get exact. It's just taking too long to aim. Yeah, I think we got him. Okay.
No.
Alright. Don't get the last enemy here. Where they're shooting at us. Besides the visuals here in the game, I would say that the music in the game I also like. It's very good. The only the issue that you're not hearing the music is that well, I don't play the music on my reports. The reason is that quite often you run into copyright issues with that, and I just want to deal with it to find out if it's actually still copyrighted or not, and whether I'm gonna have problems because I'm playing the music. So, but I would say the music is great, the visuals I liked. So from that perspective, it's very much everything is enjoyable in the game except the gunplay in it. But let's talk about a bit about the actual themes that are available in the game. Well, the themes here are standard. It's a good versus evil theme here, with greed being used as the main example of how to show good versus evil.
He's over.
Ah.
Blast him! You're gonna die.
Come on, I'm gonna get you.
All right.
Be another barrel there. No, that didn't help. Okay. So if you're gonna use a pistol, I do prefer pistol to the Uzi. I think it's more, it's much better at a longer distance. I'm able to do, I am able to get the shots easier with that. Okay. Now let's go deal with that gun. Okay. Easiest way to deal with the gun. Well, that's one way actually. I didn't expect that to work. I usually pro grenade. It's much easier to use a grenade to deal with those turrets. So, music, like I said, is good. Visuals good. Gameplay, not a big fan. Story-wise, story is good. It's engaging enough. Although looking back at it, sometimes I'm thinking like, well, I'm not sure how did this kind of make sense into the finding certain clues and so on. Like, who left them behind? Like, how did it work? One point, as I remember, there's a projector that keeps running. I'm like, so who turned on the projector? Who keeps rewinding it and who keeps playing it again? So there are this kind of difficulties in the story itself, but you're not thinking about while you're playing it. It's engaging enough, interesting enough that you don't have to do that. So I did like that fact. So overall, though, no issues there. So what is there to do in the game? Well, there's no multiplayer section to the game anymore. The PS3 versions had multiplayer, but the PS4 does not. It's just a story wise here, so you just kind of play the story. And there are collectibles that you can collect. They're not necessary for the storyline itself, but you can find them all, these little treasures that you can find, and you can collect them if you want to replay it. Although I did not really see the story now good enough to be replayable to me. It's kind of it's interesting for one single playthrough, but not for further playthroughs. Like I mentioned, I guess I should just kind of explain a bit more why I get frustrated with the gunplay. It's not only aiming, the fact that but there's no also auto lock type of system. I cannot automatically lock onto the enemy, or like at least so that my character points the general direction of the enemy first, and then I can just do minor adjustments to get that necessary shot. No, that doesn't exist. But also the fact that as you progress further, you do find enemies more and more of them. And like as I mentioned, I did drop down one difficulty about a quarter way into the game for that reason, because I just got fed up with the fact that there might be 5 enemies here, 5 enemies then there, then there's gonna be a few enemies there, then that guy's gonna jump out behind you, and you have to turn around, but you're not just not quick enough because you have to aim at him, and he's kind of keeps moving, and that's it. You got killed, and so on, and okay, let's start all over again. Again, 5 guys here, 5 guys there, and so on. It just this kind of repetition is frustrating. And so that's what I would say is the reason. I would have said that the game was good, because for a while I thought that this game was coming to PC, but then I found out that it's not. For that reason, I would say that this game is okay. I wish I had, if this would have came to PC, I would have said this is a good game. Otherwise, it's okay. When it comes to coolness of this game, well, there are enough visual combat sections, and you get to also ride a jet ski up the cataracts, up the waterfalls. So that's kind of really cool. There's other cool sections of the game. So I really like that. A bit of issue that I had with specifically with the jet ski as a vehicle section, kind of combat section of the game, is that you had two people on the jet ski. One person was at the wheel, the other person was shooting. So the question is like, why couldn't I drive and shoot? So when I was aiming there, as soon as I started aiming, I could not drive anymore. The jet ski, you have to kind of stand still and aim and shoot for some reason. That's how it worked. Not sure why. A bit also frustrating. But overall, again, that's the story is good. I like the music, I like the visuals. Gunplay not so much, but then I'm used to the mouse. That's why. So I would say it's a okay, cool game. Well, that's it. That's all I have to say about this game. If you like this video, please like it. If you didn't like it, don't like it, and please follow and subscribe.